Greetings, Dwayne. Today is Wednesday, 14th day of October, 2015. Time now is 4:55 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a quick recap of the Concierge Trade Alerts from today in case you missed the radio broadcast, and also a reminder to get yourself signed up for the free trades. Go to, because the free trades are back, cfrn.net/free Emini trades. Tried to make it as memorable as possible, but you just got to stick the little hyphen in there. Free Emini trades. They really are free. No catch, no gotcha, no credit card required. Fill this out. Now, once you fill this out, because we don't believe in spam, you're going to get an automated response that says, do you really hereby swear to that you want this? And you got to say yes. You don't have to hold up your right hand or anything. Just click the link. That will confirm you, and then you'll get another email which allows you to then create a username and a password. Then you'll have access to the free trade. Okay? Okay. By the way, the next free trade is coming out Thursday morning, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. Now, it won't come as an email. It will appear. Our Pay It Forward free trade program is not a substitute for our Concierge Trade Alert service. Free trades will appear on the free trade countdown page hours before the expected trigger. Anticipate 3 to 5 trades per week. We've had 2 trades so far this week. We just brought the free trades back this week. I told you the whole story on the video yesterday about the 3-year public beta and all of that and why we're doing it, but you can read it on this page. I don't need to go through it again today. So do that and you'll be able to get the free trade tomorrow. Okay? All right. Now, let's take a look at some of the Concierge Trade Alerts from last night. Now, I messed up. I believe in taking ownership when you mess up. When I sent out the alert last night, I was in a bit of a rush. I had to go to my son's volleyball game. Yes, he's in a grade where they have, you do volleyball, and then you do basketball. They give them a sample of each sport throughout the school year. So, volleyball may not be considered a manly sport, but when he goes to college and it's spring break time, that's right. He'd be looking good down on the beach. All right. Last night, here's a mistake I made. One, I was in a hurry to make sure I had everything done before I went to the game, which, by the way, they remain undefeated. Need to tune that bell. Okay. Undefeated. They got one more game tomorrow, I believe it is, and then the playoffs. So, what I didn't do was I didn't drop my weekly trading zones onto the chart before I issued the alert. Why is that a problem? Well, I'll tell you. Because the alert on the S&P, let me give you a peek, said to consider being short, see, below 1988. I would never, ever, in my right mind, have you going short right into a weekly trading zone. Why? Well, because for the last 5 years, weekly trading zones have served as pretty good support for falling prices and pretty good resistance for rising prices. That's their job. That's what they do. And we send those to our partners every Monday morning at 6:15 a.m. Eastern. And then once they're published for the partners, they remain the same throughout the entire week. We don't change them, massage them, manipulate them. They're carved in stone. Okay? So last night, by not having the zones on the chart, as I did the calculations and the computations, number one, I didn't realize I was giving you a short right into a zone. I mean, I'm just owning up to this, okay? I also didn't realize on the long side, you see, I would never give you a long, and any of you who have followed the radio program over the years, you know that I always tell you, you got to go 2 points out from the zone, because the zones have, for lack of a better term, this magnetic attraction, okay? And so I want to get at least 2 points away to break free of that hold so I can go. So here's what I would have said had I been more in tune with what I was doing, okay? I would have had you going long above 2002. I would have had you getting short. Well, you know, that's tough because it's hindsight and it's really easy to sound really smart with a historic chart, right? I mean, we can see the swing low here was 82.50. So suffice it to say, I'm not going to say it would have been a profitable trade. Up here, we wouldn't have even got triggered in if I'd have gone 2 points above. If I'd have gone 2 points below, okay, that would have been 84. Okay, what would that have done? It would have made sure that you didn't get stopped out for a loss. Because if you're trading the 2420 blueprint at 4 ticks, we move our stop to break loss, to break even. If you're trading for the bigger targets, like the $1,000 per contract per day, as opposed to the $100 per contract per day, you're going to use a bigger stop anyway. So just to show you how the zones work, if you're new to these parts, okay, Sunday night, when I sent out the alert Sunday night, I had not yet done the zones, okay, but it still worked out okay. But as you can see, I put out the alerts, and the S&P was the free trade Sunday night. Last night's free trade was the bonds, which I'll show you in just a second. Now look what happened. The alert was 2010 because I had not yet calculated the zones. I do the alerts first and then the zones. I probably should flip that around. But people are anxious to get the alerts because they want to take the trade. Okay, so what did we do? We ran right up into resistance. Now I do the alerts and then I turn right around and I do the zones. So price had not had a chance to do this yet. This didn't happen until 3 a.m. Monday morning. I sent them out at 6:45 p.m. Sunday night. So this is just to show you the power of the zones. Resistance, resistance, support, resistance. Now, when we hit a weekly trading zone, one of three things is going to happen: consolidation, rejection, or what I call a hot knife through butter on the hourly chart. This is rejection. This is consolidation. This is consolidation. This is consolidation. And this is consolidation. Okay? Remember, the most likely thing to happen is consolidation. Second is rejection. And third is the hot knife through butter. We consolidate for a short period of time here at the zone, 1999, 2000. So we go from zone down to the zone. So that's 87 to 99, that's 12 points. And then we do 12 points back up, and then we do 12 points back down. 12, 24, 36. Now, granted, we didn't quite get there. We missed it by 2 ticks. So we had 12 points, 11 and a half, and 11 and a half. So let's just call it 10, 20, 30. How about that? You follow me? See, first we come down, 10, back up, 10, back down, 10. Just like over here. we go from 2012 to 2000. That's 12 points. So see, it's 12, 24, 36. If you're new, you might be going, well, gee, why don't people just trade from zone to zone? Well, some people do. Okay? Some people are partners just to get the zones. So I'll leave that at that. All right? Now, I want to make this really quick, so let's jump to the bonds. This was a Concierge Trade Alert last night. It was also last night's free trade. Double duty. Okay? The alert said to consider being long above 158.19. Okay, the first push up gave us 13 ticks. Bonds pay 31.25 per tick. 32 ticks equals $1,000 per contract. That really should say contract. It's $1,000 per contract per day, you could say, but really the point I'm making is on price. That's what the market made available. The market made available a total of 35 ticks. It's actually gone up even more since I last counted it. It looks like, see, this would be 32. And the swing high now is, see, 19, 24, 5, 37. 32 ticks is $1,000 per contract. This was the trigger, 158.19, triggered at 8 a.m. Eastern. Now, important prices, important areas are almost always tested. So price comes back, gets below the trigger, and off it goes again. Now, should you have made $1,000 per contract on this trade? No. Could you? Yes. I mean, that's what happens. So you could. The thing is I don't have a mechanism to get you out right to the tick on the high of the day. I can teach you how to put in a hard target, use a hard stop. I can teach you how to trail that stop. I can teach you how to shed contracts on the way up if you're trading three. In fact, look on our Google Plus page last night, and I gave very specific instructions for the Russell, for those who are trading three contracts or multiples of three. So the bond trade, wish every day could be like that. We've had a lot of $1,000 day, $1,000 per contract days in bonds and in gold and in crude of late. So let's just pray that volatility continues. Okay. Next, let's take a look at the euro. The euro did $1,000 per contract for the day today. Now, again, I didn't have my zones on this chart either, but it didn't hurt us. So that's a good thing. Now, from zone to zone, we've got 415 to 460. And so that's 45 ticks. 45 ticks times 1250. It's $562 from zone to zone. So what did we do? We went from zone to zone, almost back to the zone, and then back up to the zone. So that's $1,500 of travel, a little less because we didn't quite make it all the way back. Okay. Swing low was 419, so we missed it by 4 ticks. 4 ticks. All right. So the alert was to be long above 11,415. 22 ticks on this first move. Then important prices, important areas. We get back below the trigger. We trigger again. 48 ticks or $600 per contract is what the market made available. Now, in a situation like this, you do have this zone to serve as a target. You know what, boy, I'm going to get, if I get up to the zone, then I'm done, right? Or perhaps you're new, you're getting started, you're building your business, and you're just trading the 2420 blueprint, and you're looking to make 8 ticks, which is $100 per contract per day. If you want to know more about the 2420 blueprint, take the trial, become a partner, give me a call. Send us an email, support@cfrn.net or 949-42-EMINI. That's our phone number, 949-42-EMINI. So the euro, after getting rejected at the zone and getting rejected again, did the hot knife through butter. See what I mean? Just slice through it like it wasn't there. One could argue a little consolidation, but hey, 85 ticks, that's the swing high. 80 ticks gives you $1,000 per contract per day. If I did my math right. I think I did. Okay, so that takes care of the euro. Let's have a look at soybeans. Another dynamite day in the soybeans. As you recall yesterday, we not only hit our target, we hit the big bean target, which was worth $900 per contract. Trigger was $890, hit $908, and actually kept going. Last night we said to consider being long above $914. Now, to make the daily goal, you need 2 pennies, which would be $916. We came up 1 tick shy of $920. That would have been 6 cents times $50 per penny, so that's a $300 per contract move. So again, 2 ticks gives you your $100 per contract per day, and the market made available 1 tick shy of $300 per contract. Okay? All right. Should show you 2 more real quick. The Russell, we said to be long above 1145. Now, this first move went to 1145.50. That's 5 ticks. The 2420 blueprint rule says at 4 ticks, you take your stop to break even. So if you're hunting big game and you're using bigger stops, well, that's a whole different story. Okay, but if you're trading the blueprint, that's what it says. So you got stopped out, break even on this trade. Okay? Now, the big move of the day was from 1145. Well, this one here was no sleeper. This one right here, 45, that one gave you 7 ticks. Okay, but this one, it carried on. See this candle? It closed here, picked up here, and kept going. So while the candle takes us back below the trigger, at the close of this hour, during the hour, we ran up to 47.20. That's 22 ticks or $220 per contract. But the big move here took us all the way up to 1151.90. From 1145 to 1151, that's 6 points. 51.90, so that would be 69 ticks or $690 per contract. That's what the market made available. Just to make your daily goal, you need 10 ticks, not 69. On the short side, be short below 1140. The swing low was 1137.50. It's $2.50. 25 ticks, $250 per contract. Important prices, important areas. It resets. This time it drops to 1134.70. So call it 1135. That's 53 ticks right here in this hour, just in that hour, $530 per contract. Okay? Then what happens? Well, we trigger on the long side again, and it gives us 20 ticks, 200 bucks. If I extend that line across, it's 200 bucks. And if I extend this line across down here, okay, swing low of the day is 11.30.30. So 40 to 30, okay? I'm going to tell you, this is 3 ticks shy. Three ticks shy of $1,000 per contract. That's what that is. Okay. All right. Now, gold. Let me show you gold. We said to consider being long above 1170. So the first trigger last night, it ran up to 1174.50. That's 4.5 points or $450 per contract. All right. Then it comes back and it triggers on the short side, does 22 ticks or $220 per contract. A couple small moves, then it drops $350 per contract. And then the big move of the day, right here, this line, $1,000 per contract. From 1170 to 1180 is $1,000 per contract. Now, what's the swing high? Yep, we're 1 tick shy. 1 tick shy of $2,000 per contract. You probably want to hit pause and just stare at this for a little bit. The volatility is awesome, okay? And with our methodology, you don't have to risk more than 8 ticks on any trade. With bonds, we risk 4. Now, that's trading the 2420 blueprint model. Again, if you want to go for bigger moves, bigger targets, you'll risk a little more, but we can work with you and teach you how to do that as well. But if you're just getting started, you don't want to blow your account up, okay? That's the story you hear. 9 out of 10 people that want to become traders, they blow up and blow out inside of a year. We're going to keep you in the simulator until you're consistently profitable. Once you prove to yourself that you're consistently profitable, it's going to take 10 back-to-back days of making $100 in 10 trades or less before you're comfortable and we're comfortable with you going live. Then you're going to go live with 1 contract. We want you to increase your account balance by $2,000. Once you do that, you can add a second contract. And then we've got a structured way of increasing the number of contracts, always using profits that you earned in the market to add the next contract. No robbing the 401k or hitting up Aunt Ida again. You earn your way up the ladder of success. That's the way to build a business. That's the way to build a trading business. And that's what we're here for, is to help you build your trading business. So if you want to get started, number 1, get on the free trade bandwagon, okay? Free is a good price. I double checked. If you want to get started on the trial, go to cfrn.net/apply. Again, you're going to get an automated email. You got to confirm that you want this, because we hate spam as much as you do. If you use Gmail, it's probably going to go to the promotions folder. You may not even know you have a promotions folder nested under your inbox. If you hover the cursor over the inbox, it'll drop down and you'll go like, what? What's all that? There's all those emails you couldn't find. Look for ours in the promotions folder. If you're using Yahoo, it might go to bulk mail, I think it's called. Different email clients. Now see, when we send out a mass email, in other words, I can't sit here and click and send the email, a couple hundred times, 300, 400, however many times a day to the whatever group I'm sending it to. I have to send it as a group. Okay? Now, your email client is smart and realizes that this is an automated email being sent. And because they want to help you achieve inbox zero, which will never happen in this day and time, but that's the goal of an email client, is to keep your inbox cluttered, filling it only with the very most important things in your life. So what you should do is you should go to your email client and you should add at CFRN.net as a contact. Also add Citrix at Citrix.com. And last but not least, at CitrixOnline.com. If you add those 3 domains to your contact list, then any of the emails that come from us, whether they're manually sent or sent by the robot, they'll fly right into your inbox. Some email clients even let you say this is, anything coming from this domain or this address is very important, give it the highest priority kind of thing. And so you can escalate it to make sure that our email always ends up on top, because that's your first step to learning how to do this. And hey, who doesn't want to do that, right? All right, thanks for hanging with me. I'll see you tomorrow morning in the live trading room.